Dearest Mother, I came to this rock to find you, but I only find myself surrounded by schemers. The President, the soldier, the Duchess, and the Cardinal, and those who invited us here. But I won't be a pawn in their games. What brought you here? What have you left for me to find? Are you even still alive?
Why do you think she wanted to leave?
Everything is possible if you make the right choices.
It will take all my skill and my silver tongue to solve this mystery. Before it's too late.
Et coucou tout le monde, salut Willy, comment ça va? Je sais, tu restes en lurk. J'espère que tu vas bien en tout cas. Bonjour tout le monde, bonjour Twitch et bonjour YouTube aussi. J'espère que vous allez bien en ce vendredi 13. Je viens de percuter qu'on était le 13 aujourd'hui. Mais bon, voilà, vendredi 13 mai, fin de semaine, hein, démarrage pour bientôt du week-end. Dernier stream de la semaine aussi, avec la seconde partie de The Council qu'on a commencé donc hier avec l'épisode 1 complet. Donc là, on va démarrer l'épisode 2 aujourd'hui. J'espère le finir parce que je vais m'arrêter vers 19h, 19h30, grand max. Et on reprendra à partir de mardi prochain la suite du coup de The Council avec les épisodes 3, 4 et 5. Et si tout va bien, avec la découverte aussi d'autres jeux qui vont pas tarder à sortir aussi. Donc il va falloir que je goupille un peu le planning. On verra. Pour l'instant, on est sur The Council. Comme dit, le jeu est sorti en 2018, du moins le premier épisode. Développé donc par Big Bad Wolf Studio. Comme je l'ai dit hier, c'est ceux donc, qui ont développé aussi Vampire the Masquerade Song qui va sortir donc fin de semaine prochaine. Le but du jeu, donc, c'est de découvrir des mystères et des secrets d'autres hôtes qui ont été invités donc, lors d'une soirée. N'hésitez pas à revoir le replay de hier et replay qui sera aussi disponible, je pense, courant de la semaine prochaine sur YouTube. Voilà, donc je mettrai au fur et à mesure aussi les différents épisodes. Et demain, vous avez aussi la suite et fin de Black Sad aussi, qui sera disponible aussi sur YouTube. Donc, The Council, chaque décision aura des conséquences. Je développe des compétences au fil de l'histoire. Pas mal d'intrigues, hein, puisque j'incarne donc Louis de Richet en 1793, donc récemment devenu membre d'une société secrète dirigée par Lord Mortimer. On a donc été invité sur une île, sur l'île privée de Lord Mortimer, où notre mère avait aussi été invitée, mais du coup elle a disparu, donc on est en pleine recherche, en pleine intrigue, en plein mystère. C'est assez intéressant comme jeu, je trouve, hein, puisque il faut utiliser en fait le système d'influence, donc analyser les différents personnages qu'on rencontre au fur et à mesure de l'histoire pour choper un maximum d'infos. Donc c'est aussi pas mal de négociations, de manipulations et tout ça. Voilà, on a rencontré Napoléon Bonaparte, on a rencontré George Washington, enfin voilà. Donc l'intrigue se passe en 1793. Hein. Comme dit, je vais démarrer tout de suite le jeu, je m'arrêterai vers 19h, 19h30. J'espère qu'on aura clôturé l'épisode 2. En tout cas, on a pris beaucoup de temps hier sur l'épisode 1 pour l'épilogue. Donc, on verra combien de temps celui-ci va durer. Et puis voilà, je vais lancer tranquillement le jeu et on va continuer l'aventure ensemble. Et c'est reparti. Alors, voilà, donc épisode 2, n'hésitez pas à me dire aussi au niveau du son si tout va bien. Épisode 2, où est ma mère? Ça marche, c'est parti.
How many times must I tell you? You must never put your life on the line for me.
Mother has always had a fascination for Lord Mortimer, but has never wanted to tell me why.
We are doing our utmost to find your mother as quickly as possible. Without your mother, hundreds of men of the cloth would have gone to the guillotine.
All I can tell you is I'm looking for my sister.
Do you believe your mother capable of torturing a child?
An agreement for cannons. Lord Mortimer assured me that you are to take over the project on behalf of your mother.
Johann Christoph von Wollner, Minister of Religious Affairs, and Jacques Peroux, French Revolutionary Tribunal Judge. You will find that Lord Mortimer is not what one would call conventional, Monsieur de Richet.
I do apologize for being late. I was obliged to clear up some urgent business.
Ok, c'est vrai que notre mère était un tortionnaire. Elle avait torturé apparemment Elizabeth Adams, donc la fille de John Adams, le vice-président, croyant qu'elle était possédée. Voilà, donc il y a pas mal d'occultisme aussi là-dedans. Note de Richet. Ok, commencer la quête. Alors, vos lectures. Sciences, linguistique. Oh, encyclopédie.
At last we meet, Monsieur de Richet. Do you mind if I call you Louis?
Please do.
Thank you. I wish to apologize wholeheartedly, Louis. I made you cross the seas, and I wasn't even here to welcome you. When I asked you to join us here, it was, of course, in the hope that you would help us find your mother. Unfortunately, I am now confronted with another problem, which I would rather have done without. You see, last night, Miss Adams also went missing.
Oui, on sait parce qu'elle nous a drogués entre-temps aussi. Hein.
And why is that? Can you tell me more?
I have had my people searching for her all over the island. Alas, to no avail. It so happens that both her mental and her physical health are extremely fragile. I'm worried that the same thing happened to her as to your mother. Also, I would appreciate it very much if you could tell me what you were doing on the floor in her room in the early hours
It's
of
quite
the
normal.
morning.
I can explain everything.
Oh, well, I'm glad to hear it. You see, Sir Gregory is about to arrive, and he's taken Elizabeth's disappearance very, very seriously. Please, reassure him so that we can talk about your mother. William, I would like to see you a moment before we begin. In private. Let's step outside a moment. Louis, this only takes a few moments.
Il a posé une lettre sur la table. Fouiller le bureau, bah voilà. Non, non, on va fouiller.
All right, let's take this chance to look around.
Si déjà, le temps qu'ils reviennent, vite fait. Déposition de Monsieur Bonaparte à la question qu'avez-vous fait hier soir. Alors, après avoir discuté avec Lord Mortimer, j'ai passé la soirée à jouer aux cartes avec Sir Gregory, Monsieur Washington et son éminence Piaggi. Sir Gregory a gagné. Avez-vous remarqué quelque chose d'étrange durant la soirée? Monsieur Bonaparte répond à l'aube. J'ai cru apercevoir quelqu'un sur le balcon, mais je n'ai plus rien. Je n'ai pas pu voir qui. Déposition de la duchesse. À la question qu'avez-vous fait hier soir, j'ai passé la soirée en compagnie de Monsieur de Richet. Nous avons admiré les œuvres présentées dans la galerie du manoir. Ce qui n'est pas faux. Hein. En montant nous coucher, nous avons croisé Mademoiselle Adams, ce qui est vrai. Fatiguée de ma journée, j'ai laissé Monsieur de Richet et Mademoiselle Adams discuter et je suis allée me coucher. Ok. Et qu'est-ce qu'elle a encore dit? Elle a rien remarqué d'étrange. Ok. Bon, tout ceci est vrai. Hein.
Please, sit back down, Louis.
This sort of behavior is not working in your favor, young man.
Gregory,
Oula.
Louis told me we needn't be concerned.
Of course. Monsieur de Richet, the situation seems to escape your grasp, so I won't beat about the bush. Did you kill Elizabeth Adams?
Mais non. Bah... Attends.
What? Elizabeth is dead?
No. Now let us remain calm. We do not yet know, Gregory, precisely what has happened to our poor Elizabeth.
I beg your pardon? So what are you accusing me of, then?
We must remain calm, Gregory. We have found no evidence that would suggest that Elizabeth has been murdered. For the time being, she has only disappeared. Let's stick to the facts, if you please.
Well, where is she then?
Mais qu'est-ce que j'en sais? Peut-être chez sa sœur.
I'm not absolutely sure, but I'd wager she's gone to visit her sister.
I beg your pardon?
Good Lord! You mean Abigail?
Yes, they've been keeping in touch by mail. Elizabeth always dreamt of meeting her. I wouldn't be surprised if she went to see her.
Damnation, William. This is a fiasco. Sir, you don't seem to realize just how serious this is.
Let's try and remain calm, Gregory. In any case, it would be far better if Elizabeth really has left the island, as Louis says. Why do you think she wanted to leave?
Est-ce pour fuir ma mère?
She was terrorized by my mother's presence here. Just the thought of coming face to face with her was unbearable.
Did she tell you why?
Yes, she brought the subject up.
I'm sorry, Louis. It couldn't have been easy to hear.
For your sake, I sincerely hope that she got there safely. Monsieur de Richet, I apologize if my words seemed a little abrupt. I dare not think what would happen if Elizabeth came across your mother on the island. Your generosity may well cost you dearly.
I understand, my lord. I certainly regret it.
You don't need us for any of this. So come along, Monsieur Peru. We are leaving.
Yes.
Right. It's time we spoke about your mother, Louis.
Elle fait ça souvent. J'en sais rien du tout. Pardon. Posez vos questions à Mortimer.
She seems to be making every effort to steer clear of your guests.
What do you mean?
For the past few weeks, my mother's been playing cat and mouse, if you will. I don't know why, but it wouldn't surprise me to learn that she's trying to avoid someone. The question is, who?
And in your opinion, would she be the cat or the mouse?
I'd like to answer the cat,
Salut, Boop.
but unfortunately I'm increasingly worried that she's in fact the mouse.
That doesn't make me feel any better, Louis.
Ça va?
What was the official reason why my mother came to your island?
I knew about your mother's activities and yours in the Golden Order. I thought we had everything to gain by working together.
N'hésitez pas à me dire si le son ça va. Hein.
Among others, yes. How did you hear about that?
Monsieur Bonaparte came to speak to me about it yesterday, during lunch.
I see. So impetuous. He was supposed to let me speak to you about it first. Our friend Napoleon desperately needed financial backing to properly equip his army. I took it upon myself to back him because I have a firm conviction that he can go far.
We shall see. However, there's one thing that surprises me.
Attends une seconde, sa mère... Attends, mais notre mère, elle torturait quelqu'un et maintenant elle vend des armes?
Did my mother intend to finance a war? I'm not sure that I follow.
No, your mother's aim was not so much to partake in a war, but rather to make Monsieur Bonaparte accountable. France is in turmoil, and having support of a military man can often come in handy, Louis. You'll see. Once this deal was closed, I had big plans for Sarah.
Such as what?
You see, I've invited several influential figures on my island to present them with a project at the conference. It will be presented later today. I thought that the Golden Order had a role to play. And I still think so. I was hoping Sarah would be able to join us.
I see.
Indeed, if by chance your mother decided not to return to us before the conference, would you do me the great honor of attending? If only to follow the deliberations while waiting for her to duly take her seat.
Why not? We shall see.
Ah, thank you so much. In this way, you'll be able to keep your mother informed of what is said. There's something else I'd like to briefly go over. Earlier, you asked me the official reason for your mother's presence here. Is there an off-the-record reason why your mother came here?
If only my mother trusted me, but she remained very mysterious. I'd have been delighted to answer your question.
Is this usual for her?
As head of the Order, secrets are her bread and butter, as you can imagine. That said, it's the first time she hasn't let me in on the reason for her trip. And it intrigues me, to tell you the truth.
Well, I am sure that Sarah will explain everything once she reappears. There's something I still don't get. In your opinion, why would your mother remain in hiding over several weeks?
Bonne question.
Her not coming back to the manor after so long makes me wonder if she is wary of someone.
Well, certainly. But whom? The only ones who were present during her stay were Sir Gregory, Duchess Hillsborough, Mr. von Wollner, and myself.
Duchesse, Wollner, Mortimer, Sir Holm.
You forget Elizabeth Adams, my lord.
That's true. But Gregory and I arranged it so that they wouldn't run into each other. I thought it had worked.
Do you think that your mother felt she was in danger because of Elizabeth?
No.
It's possible.
The only thing I can tell you is that Sarah had indeed changed. At the beginning of her stay here, we enjoyed spending time together, solving the world's problems.
You seem to know my mother very well, my lord. What did you talk about together?
Oh, as soon as we had a little free time, we liked to share points of view about practically any subject. We would find ourselves embarked on interminable discussions that could go from Monsieur Blanchard's flight in a hot air balloon to the Treaty of Jassy, or the adoption of the metric system in France last year, or even Mr. Eli Whitney's invention in the United States.
Ah, yes. His famous cotton gin. It was supposed to revolutionize cotton production in the United States.
It will revolutionize the world, Louis. The potential of this invention is much greater. Tomorrow, all industries will be switching to simple but large-scale production. Of that, I'm sure.
I'm surprised she didn't get you started on the Crusades. It was her favorite subject.
Are you joking? Sarah and I spent entire days together reliving them. It so happens that the Crusades are also my subject of predilection, especially the Third. My ancestor distinguished himself brilliantly during the siege of Saint-Jean d'Acre.
Mother lulled my childhood with tales of the Crusades. How Richard the Lionheart and Philip Augustus had to battle it out to achieve their ends. And how Guy de Lusignan, having broken his word, launched the siege of Saint-Jean d'Acre.
Oh, I see Sarah's lessons have inspired new enthusiasts. Good on you, because not everyone can claim they know as much at your age. Your mother is a very well-read woman. You're quite lucky to have her as a model, Louis.
Yes, I know, but I'm still very worried.
I must admit, there are worse things to worry about now, Louis.
What do you mean?
Since she disappeared, your mother has been seen once. Her behavior on the evening of your arrival greatly surprised Gregory and myself. She resurfaced to attack Emma, Emily Hillsborough's twin sister. And she shot her with a pistol. Then, before Gregory could intervene, she ran off and disappeared again.
I beg your pardon? Hang on.
Emily has a twin sister who knew my mother? What's she playing at, goddammit? That means my vision on the wharf, it was actually happening inside the manor. Mother shot Emily's sister? The very person she came looking for? Why would she do that?
Excuse me, but between that and the childhood of Lady Adams, it's all a bit much for me to cope with. I need to piece it all together again to see things more clearly. You said that you spent a lot of time talking together at the beginning. What happened for that to change?
I'm afraid I haven't much to tell you. The more the days went by, the more she withdrew into herself. She never gave me an explanation, until the day came when she purely and simply disappeared.
Where did she go when she wanted to be alone?
She would shut herself away in a room we use as a box room upstairs.
Would you allow me to go there?
Naturally, Louis, of course. I'll send you a servant to open it.
Thank you.
That's all I can tell you about the disappearance of your mother, Louis. I would like to have been more helpful.
I shall stay on her trail and follow up any leads.
Thank you. We will meet later on to welcome our last guest. In the meantime, I shall get someone to open the box room upstairs for you.
Thank you. The room is just opposite Mortimer's study.
Ok, ça c'est fait. Chambre de la tour. Chambre de la tour. Je crois qu'il y avait un escalier pour monter quelque part. Alors attends, ça c'est pour descendre. Où est-ce qu'il est cet escalier pour monter? On l'avait vu hier, je l'avais vu hier en plus cet escalier. Ah. Et je peux pas y monter? Je peux pas monter là? Attends, c'est que ce bordel. Ok, je peux pas descendre par là non plus. On va prendre l'autre escalier. Salut petit ventral, comment ça va? Je vais prendre cet escalier là. Je peux pas non plus. Alors attends, par où je passe là? Là on a l'escalier, là on a un escalier. Chambre des invités. Ma chambre. Ça va bien, je te remercie. Et toi? Chambre de la tour. Chambre de la tour. On continue notre découverte là sur The Council. plutôt très sympa hein, comme jeu. Si t'aimes l'intrigue, les mystères, les choix, les conséquences. Alors c'est assez étonnant parce que j'ai 2 escaliers que je ne peux pas utiliser. Attends, je vais essayer de trouver où redescendre. Ok, cet escalier là, non. Ça veut dire que c'est quand même là-haut. Faudrait que j'arrive à monter, sauf que le seul escalier où je peux monter n'est pas accessible. Ah, attendez. Ouais. Ouais, celui-là, aller à la chambre de la tour, mais l'étage, il est là, quoi. Où est-ce que je suis au niveau de la carte? Bah oui. Là, j'ai un escalier. Là aussi. Comment tu accèdes là si tu peux pas monter, quoi? Je peux ni descendre ni monter. Alors, est-ce que j'ai une option en retournant peut-être à ma chambre? Ouais, ok, inutilisable. Ok, on peut ni descendre ni monter.
Duke Manuel Godoy.
Je vais retourner à ma chambre histoire de voir si je peux passer par je ne sais où. Ok. Ah, je peux pas retourner à ma chambre non plus. Ok. Je vais essayer de faire toutes les chambres en fait, pour voir si je peux accéder quelque part. Il doit bien y avoir une sortie quelque part. Ok, là non plus. Ce qui m'a embarqué directement ici, hein, quand même. Hein. Là non plus. Bah. Y aurait-il un passage secret quelque part? Ok, fermé aussi. Je vais faire toutes les chambres histoire de voir s'il n'y a pas quelque chose que j'ai. Ah. Ok, on y est. Chambre de la tour. Donc il pensait qu'il fallait juste monter quelque part, au final non. Ok, d'accord. Chercher des indices. Nickel.
There are burnt papers in the chimney. There's a legible fragment left. Hey, I recognize my mother's handwriting. She says we must find a safer way to communicate. Someone is on to us. Trust in my faith in the man with the sword. So Mother had an accomplice here. Who could it be? Who could she be suspicious of? I must find the next part. Faith, sword. I recognize her love of riddles there.
Nous devons trouver un moyen plus sûr d'échanger quelqu'un sur nos traces. Méfiez-vous à ma foi en l'homme. Fiez-vous à ma foi en l'homme à l'épée. Hein. Ok. Gelée royale pour la santé. On a découvert quand même pas mal de choses, mais
Dante's Paradise.
Ah, encore?
Raise your head and be reassured, for what comes up here from the mortal world must ripen in our rays.
Ils aiment bien Dante, hein, dis donc. Eau de Mélisse.
St. Paul on the Road to Damascus by Caravaggio. A fierce opponent of the first Christians, St. Paul is suddenly struck by the call of Jesus Christ and converts. It's the best known conversion in Christian history, which teaches us that even enemies of Christ can be saved, and even become his greatest apostles after finding faith. From what I can recall, the account of his conversion could be found in the epistles to the Galatians, the Philippians, the Corinthians, and the Acts of the Apostles.
Ok.
Caravaggio attained a magnificent command of black and the play of colors too. Paul facing an ordeal, the curtains of his illusions being raised, and receives the light from his Savior.
Qu'est-ce qu'on a d'autre? Consulter les notes.
St. Paul on the Road to
On l'a déjà vu.
Damascus by Caravaggio.
Ça c'était Dante, d'accord. Ah, au sol.
What is this disc? Oh, that reminds me of the ones my mother collects. It's magnetic.
Un aimant.
Oh, that reminds me of the ones my mother collects. It's magnetic.
Mais un aimant pour faire quoi? Prendre. Pierre magnétique. Alors, est-ce qu'il y a autre chose?
The door appears to be locked on the other side. I think I heard something fall to the ground. A metallic sound, like a key falling. We'll see if it works.
Ah oui. Yes.
It's open. Chest with the occult symbol representing air.
On avait une clé. Attends. Crocheter. Mais attends 2 secondes, j'avais plein de clés. Hein. Je peux rien faire à part m'éloigner pour l'instant. Attends, où est mon inventaire? La terre, le cercle. Ah, je crois qu'il me manque. Et ça, c'est l'air. D'accord.
A drawing of the Apostle Matthew, painted by Guido Reni. He's represented as writing the word of the Lord, transmitted by the Holy Spirit, who appears here in the guise of an angel. The New Testament. This volume dates from the first edition of Gutenberg. It's the first book that was ever printed. The pages are covered in annotations in Latin, French, and Hebrew. Someone spent years studying this Bible. This volume dates from the first edition of Gutenberg. It's the first book that was ever printed. The pages are covered in annotations in Latin, French, and Hebrew. Someone spent years studying this Bible.
Attends, mais est-ce qu'il faut que je lise tout? Analyser, arrêter de lire.
And he became very hungry and would have eaten, but while they were made ready, he fell into a trance. Hey, there's a note here.
Oh, j'ai débloqué un
A
trait.
message from
Ok.
Mother in reply to E. We must leave urgently, but first I absolutely must go beyond the nightmare. Watch out for Volner. He figured out I was avoiding him. Allay suspicion. See you tomorrow evening. Stand ready. For now,
Tenez-vous
let's cease
prête.
all
Ah.
communication until we meet. Take care of yourself. I suppose this must be the last message. What happened afterward? If it's what I suspect, I fear the worst. What did Mother mean by, I absolutely must go beyond the nightmare? I must go beyond the nightmare. What does she mean by that? Clearly, she must be trying to do something useful, but what? A nightmare. Does that remind me of anything?
Un tableau? Un lieu? Attends, cauchemar. Un objet, un lieu, un concept. Je suis pas sûre que ce soit un lieu.
Well, if it's a concept, I've got no idea what it is.
Déchiffrer le
I
message.
need to figure out what this means. Mortimer's getting his guests together. I ought to join them so I don't look suspicious.
Attends, on a 2 minutes pour nous là? Ah bah c'est bon, d'accord. J'ai autre chose là vite fait à voir là, parce que si déjà, hein, je sais qu'on doit se dépêcher, mais pas paraître suspect.
A chest with the occult symbol representing air.
Ouais, bon, j'ai toujours pas de clé, hein. Ok, bon. Ok. Est-ce que... Juste voir s'il n'y a pas quelque chose qui traîne. Pas de malt, ça c'est bien. Bon, le coffre est là. Gelée royale. Il y a peut-être une trace de clé quelque part, on ne sait jamais. Alors s'il y a quelque chose qui brille, mis à part le coffre sur la cheminée. Non, ok. Et vite fait là, avant de sortir. À part le bouquin de Dante, ok. Ok, bon. Qu'est-ce que j'ai raté? Ah, sujet du cauchemar. Du coup, j'ai 4 points. Du coup, psychologie, on avait quoi? Donc ça, c'est tout ce qui est compétences. Alors, attends. Occultisme, manipulation, vigilance. On était en complet. Psychologie, c'était pas mal. Par contre, il n'y avait pas les langues. La science. Conviction, diversion, politique. Ah, linguistique. C'était pas mal, ça. Hein. Subterfuge, c'était pas mal aussi. Science, il m'en manque quoi? 1, 2, 3. Je pourrais faire langue, linguistique. Mais attends 2 secondes là. Donc linguistique, ok. Ça c'était bon, ouais. Et par contre, il me reste un point. Un point que je pourrais attribuer où? Psychologie. Érudition ou psychologie. Psychologie, comportement des gens. Science, je vais mettre science quand même. Et du coup, qu'est-ce que je peux... okay. Manuscrit à équiper. Un point de compétence en étiquette, diversion, politique. Je dirais étiquette.
It's time I went back and joined everyone in the small salon.
Ok, petit salon, petit salon.
You are expected in the small salon, sir.
Ouais, je sais. Je sais déjà plus où est-ce qu'il est ce truc par contre.
Emily, I must speak to you.
What's the matter, Louis?
I have news about your sister.
What have you found out?
Look, I've started piecing together the events leading up to my mother's disappearance and your sister's. Did my mother know about your secret?
Yes, even though I belong to the English chapter, her rank in the Order gives her access to a good deal of personal information.
It must have been Emma I saw in my vision.
I was given to understand that my mother and your sister bonded during their stay. If Mother's really killed her sister, I'd better find her by myself. They say they spent a lot of time together. They got along well.
Oh, really? Do you think your mother liked Duchess Hillsborough?
Of course she did. After all, she's your sister. Well, we'll find them, Emily. Trust me.
Should I speak to her about my vision? If what I saw is true, she might want to take revenge.
Allons-y gaiement.
Emily, there's something else.
Go on then.
It's about your sister. I don't know what happened exactly, but it's possible that my mother had a go at her.
I know, Louis. I found out that same evening.
Elle est au courant?
Well, thanks for not trying to hide it.
What? Why didn't you tell me?
I didn't know if I could trust you. Now I know I can. It seems that your mother tricked Emma. She apparently asked her to hide an important book, so that even she wouldn't know where it was. And then she shot her like a dog to make sure no one would ever find it again.
Notre mère a tué sa frangine quand même. Hein. Abattue comme une chaîne pour s'assurer que personne ne le retrouve jamais. C'est elle pourquoi?
Why would she do that?
I don't know, Louis. But I'll find out. You can count on that.
I'm sincerely sorry, Emily.
Thank you, Louis. But you do realize your mother will have to accept the consequences of her acts.
There must be an explanation, Emily.
That's what we shall see. Come, Louis. They're waiting for us.
Eh ben, notre mère qui torture des gens, tue des gens, complote. Magnifique.
You will pay dearly, Peru. I'm sure you were involved somewhere along the line.
That's right. Pretend you don't know. One piece of advice. Don't travel through France on your way back, or it'll cost you dearly.
Calm now, my friends. Let's calm down. Everyone seems to be a little unnecessarily heated. Don't forget where you are, please.
What's going on here exactly?
Sir Gregory called us together to introduce the last guest.
But hardly had we arrived when he set upon Monsieur Peru.
And what has Mr. Peru done to once again provoke someone's anger?
We don't really know just yet.
I get the feeling it won't be long before it gets out.
How could you dare do such a thing? Dios mio, you are all out of your minds!
Really, Duke Manuel? What made you kick up such a fuss?
What? Have you not heard? Well, let me inform you that yesterday morning at 10:22 a.m. precisely, in the middle of the Place de la Révolution in Paris, by decree of the National Convention which Monsieur Peru works for, King Louis was guillotined.
What?
Oh, no.
The King of France is dead, gentlemen. Our monarchies are in danger. I have said it before.
How dare they?
Oh, dear.
Oh, as if it...
Gracious.
Friends, let us calm down.
Don't pretend to be surprised. He got a fair trial.
Ridiculous. Bastard. He was sentenced to death by 361 votes.
Il y a un cadre à présent, salut quoi.
You beheaded a king for one vote. Is that your democracy?
What an obnoxious act. Until this, anything was possible. This political coup will have grave consequences.
France is lost.
Gentlemen, please. Let us take a step back a moment.
In the name of holiness. He was the highest representative of God in France, Emily.
Réfléchir aux conséquences pour l'ordre et ou calmer le jeu. Attends, je suis curieuse là.
If I remember rightly, what Mother told me one night, King Louis was secretly also part of the Order. I wonder what impact his death will have on us. Sad news, sir.
With whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
Louis Maras de Richet.
Are you related to Sarah de Richet?
Bah oui, sa mère.
Sarah is his mother, Duke. Gentlemen, this news affects us all, but I must ask you to remain calm. It's not the first time history has taken us by surprise. Let's ensure that our respective countries are allowed to respond appropriately to this news.
Oh, rest assured. The response will not fall short, my friend.
Good for you. Well, Your Grace, here I was preparing to introduce you as is proper, and you've beaten me to it. I'm delighted that we are all together at last. Our meeting will therefore be able to kick off shortly. I have just a few more little preparations to take care of before you all find out the reason for your presence here. In the meantime, I shall leave you to get to know one another. When you hear the bell, please proceed to the conclave room on my left, behind that door. I'll see you later.
Could you spare a moment, please, sir?
I'm glad you asked. I want to talk to you too. Of course.
Ok, découvrez
I
ce que
heard
cache
about
Partenaire.
your mother's disappearance.
He looks concerned.
Moi, j'ai une seule chance.
I don't know why, but I doubt it's from sympathy alone. Well, let's see what he wants from me.
Any news of her? Have you found her, maybe?
Hear you speak, it sounds like you and my mother were close.
Let's say I hold your mother in high esteem, yes. We were even planning to work together.
That's what he was getting at.
Did she tell you about our arrangement?
Mais quel arrangement? Attends.
Absolutely, but I was hoping that you could tell me more about it.
On va faire genre qu'on
Well,
sait.
she was planning to sell me a very old book.
Ok.
I will make no secret of the fact that I am passionate about the subject. And when Sarah spoke to me about it, her account literally had me enthralled. I can think of nothing else since. You might have come across some old books in her belongings, perhaps?
Pas du tout.
As my mother's got so many old books, I'm afraid I won't be able to...
Oh, it's easy. You can't mistake this one. It's an ancient grimoire, composed of 7 parts. Each one is closed under lock
grimoire
and
avec 7
key.
clés.
It was made in such a way that if someone tried to tamper with it, the sheets would be permanently tarnished. If you find it, you mustn't tamper with it. You see?
That's unusual. Unfortunately, that doesn't ring a bell. I'll look again, but I wouldn't get my hopes up. You seem very upset. Is it so important to you, this book?
Well, it's the search of a lifetime. What can I say? Every time I move closer to it, it seems to slip away at the last minute. I was very surprised to learn that your mother had it in her possession. I thought it was with a certain von Borchardt in Paris. Do you know him?
Indeed. One of your close friends?
No, not really, but we were close once. Precisely over the case that concerns us now, because he claimed to have the book I'm looking for.
Another dishonest person. What can you say? Can't trust anyone these days, huh?
No, you can't.
I hope I've been able to satisfy your curiosity, Mr. von Wollner, and that you succeed in finding what you're looking for.
Oh, and so do I.
And now, what if you told me who you really are working for, instead of keeping up this pretense?
I beg your pardon?
We both know what you're looking for, von Wollner. You're the one who von Borchardt was planning to sell it to.
For centuries, all those who have come into contact with the Al-Azif have bitterly regretted it, Monsieur de Richet. You are playing a dangerous game. Please know that I am working for someone who does not appreciate anyone poking around in his business.
Let me guess.
Ouh, alors attends.
Lord Mortimer.
Oh, you are way off the mark. There's nothing more for us to say. Goodbye.
Trouvez plus d'indices sur la note de votre mère. La note, pop, pop, pop. Où est-ce qu'elle est cette note? Ah, un ensemble de notes écrites par Sarah de Richet. Ok, ne peut être équipé, rassembler toutes les pages de ce manuscrit pour le lire. Ok. Ouais, mais attends, pourquoi tu me dis trouver plus d'indices dans ce cas-là? Hein? Pourquoi tu me dis ça? Diversion politique. Ok, bon.
Monsieur Bonaparte, may I speak with you a moment?
Mais oui.
Ah, lui demander pour le cauchemar. Attends.
Does expression go beyond the nightmare mean anything to you at all?
Well, metaphorically, yes. It sums up the career of a soldier quite well. I doubt that is what you want to hear, though.
Indeed. That's surely not what I'm looking for.
Well, monsieur, if you are looking for a phrase book, Lord Mortimer must surely have one, given the number of books he has. You ought to check in the library of the tower. You never know.
Ok.
Would you have any more information about the conference Lord Mortimer spoke of?
Nothing at all. Mortimer is very committed to secrecy when it comes to his conferences. But given the presence of Monsieur Peru and ourselves, I think it must concern France to some extent. Otherwise, I doubt he would have invited 3 Frenchmen to his table, huh?
What do you think of Duke Godoy?
Well, I'd rather not express any opinion of him.
Why is that?
His reputation is enough for me.
There are some rumors about his loose morals.
Juste, monsieur. Add to that his devouring ambition, if you want my opinion. Playing at lover boy rather than gaining merit for his career. It's a disgrace for any soldier.
I understand your point of view. Well, I'll be leaving you now. Shall we meet up again later?
Wait, monsieur. Any news of your mother?
Unfortunately not, no.
I hope to speak with her about my deal before I leave. Let me know if you find her. À plus tard, monsieur.
Ok. Notre père, il faisait quand même pas mal de magouilles, hein, je trouve, quand même, hein, mine de rien. Entre les ventes de canons et des expatriés. Ouh, on a un truc par terre.
Hey, a Russian ruble. I wonder what it'd be worth today.
Un rouble russe, ok.
There's a pattern with 5 circles on this chest.
Subterfuge. Ah, pétard. Utiliser la clé. Mais j'ai pas de clé. Il me manque des clés. J'ai des clés, mais qui ouvrent pas le bon truc à chaque fois. Hein.
Hey, these look like pages taken from an ancient encyclopedia.
Page d'encyclopédie.
Chronicles of the Amber Princes. As I recall, Dorkin was my favorite character.
Trouvez plus d'indices sur la note de votre mère. Bah, déjà, je fouille quand même là parce que la note de ma mère. Est-ce qu'il faudrait que je refouille dans sa chambre? Y a-t-il autre chose à prendre? J'ai pas l'impression.
What can I do for you, sir? I am at your service day and night, sir.
Attends, on peut rien. On a déjà parlé avec lui, les invités.
As I was unable to bring my personal effects with me, I was wondering if you could find me a few items.
Of course, sir. What would you require?
What's that book you're hiding in your jacket?
The Sorrows of Young Werther by Goethe, sir. And I am not hiding it.
Hand it to me, please.
It is damaged, sir. I would never dare lend sir a book in such a pitiful state, sir. I took it to restore.
Hang on, but it's mine.
Beg pardon, sir?
It's my book. I'm telling you, it's my book.
With all due respect, sir, I hope sir will understand that I have doubts. You see, I found it in Lord Mortimer's library.
Huh, there you are then. That's exactly where I left it.
I am quite put out, sir. I
bah,
don't know what to say.
In that case, I suggest you say nothing and hand it over.
But I...
Now.
But sir, I... Very well, sir. Here you are. May sir take good care of it. It is damaged.
And you've damaged it as well? Well, bravo. Bravo.
No, I didn't do anything. It wasn't me, sir.
Say pardon.
Pardon me, sir.
Very good. There were some other things I wanted to go over with you.
Ok, donc on a récupéré ça. Je sais pas pourquoi je l'ai récupéré, mais je l'ai récupéré.
You wouldn't have a little golden elixir I could use, would you?
Oh, unfortunately, sir, I have orders not to give any of that medicine to any of Lord Mortimer's guests. Some guests are here to follow a very strict treatment. Mixing or combining certain substances would be dangerous for sir.
Pourquoi je peux lui demander des trucs comme ça?
My good fellow, would you have any amber available?
I would, but unfortunately,
okay,
I
bon,
don't think I am authorized to give it out, sir.
Par contre, le bouquin,
I
c'est peut-être
believe it is
intéressant.
a precious stone.
C'est pas grave, c'est pas grave. De toute façon, il fallait que je voie avec les indices de la mère, mais en même temps, je scrute. peut-être choper des trucs en plus, là. Cauchemar.
Go beyond the nightmare. Does this line remind you of anything in particular?
You've caught me unaware here, Louis. Let me think about it a second. No, nothing comes to mind. Sorry, Louis, but I am unable to help you.
Évidemment.
Mr. President, can you tell me a little more about the coming conference?
Of course, Louis. That's why we're here. Lord Mortimer or Sir Gregory regularly organize meetings like this to put forward major projects.
What do you mean by major projects?
I'd prefer to let Lord Mortimer explain that to you, Louis. Let's say he brings together influential people in order to consider possible actions to undertake to guarantee the future of nations.
Do you know the theme of the conference?
Not in the slightest. None of the guests know the theme before arriving. But you'll see, everything will turn out fine. Don't worry.
Ok,
Mr. President, what do you think about your counterpart, Duke Manuel?
I'm very surprised he was able to accept Lord Mortimer's invitation, given the political situation in Spain.
I wonder what promise Lord Mortimer could have made to make him agree to come here, given the circumstances.
Who knows?
Well, thank you for your time.
Don't mention it, my young friend. Regarding your question on the nightmare, don't hesitate to question the others about it. Maybe one of them knows more than I do.
D'accord.
That's a good idea. Thank you once again. I'll see you in a little bit.
Ok, il nous a quand même filé des... ouais, il faut qu'on demande un peu à tout le monde pour le cauchemar. D'accord. On va demander à tout le monde, hein.
Ah, Louis. Just the man. Good Lord. How did the king come to be executed? I would think that the order would have intervened.
Ah bah écoute, qu'est-ce que tu veux que je te dise? Ok. Le roi s'est enfoncé tout seul, le roi a joué avec le feu. Bon, quoi qu'il en soit, il a été guillotiné, donc voilà, je peux rien dire de plus.
I invite you to speak about it with my mother as soon as she
Ok, alors lui, il
reappears.
m'aidera pas du tout.
Is there any news of her?
Well, I hope it won't be long before I find her, Your Eminence.
Now you wanted to speak to me.
Oui, pour ça.
If I say the nightmare to you, does it make you think of anything?
Your question is strange, my son. Difficult to say. Could you at least tell me a little more about the context?
Si on m'a parlé d'un soldat avec un bouquin...
Think of a place and tell me the first thing that comes into your mind when I say the nightmare.
Let me think. I'd say Lord Mortimer's favorite painting on the wall
un
behind
tableau.
his desk. You know, that painting caused quite a stir when it was exhibited. It is titled The Nightmare, and it shows a woman lying down with a creature sitting on her, and in the background, a horse. I don't know if it will be of any help, but I can't think of anything else.
You never know. Thank you for that, though, Your Eminence. I gotta go and see it just in case, though.
Ça serait pas mal, ça, dis donc.
I was wondering what to think of that Manuel Godoy.
He is reputed to be a very ambitious character, at every level. But his faith is unwavering. He is a staunch defender of the church. You can believe me.
Thank you for everything, Your Eminence. I shan't take up any more of your time.
You are welcome, my son. I will be seeing you, Louis.
Ok, le tableau donc... Voilà, bah super. Trouver plus d'infos. Rendez-vous dans le bureau de Mortimer. Bah voilà, punaise. Où est-ce qu'il est, son bureau? Petit salon. Salle à manger, bibliothèque, galerie des portraits. Où est-ce qu'il est, son bureau? Attends. Ah bah attends. Est-ce qu'il serait pas là-bas?
Amber crystals.
Ben voilà. Fragment d'ambre, magnifique. Est-ce que c'est le bon truc? Merde, c'est la bibliothèque. Alors attends, et après la bibliothèque, j'avais pas le bureau du... Ah, attends. Voilà. Je cherche le bureau, hein. C'est, je le vois bien, le bureau derrière cette porte. Ça, c'était la salle des portraits où on était hier. Et du coup, on avait le passage secret. Ouais. Par contre, est-ce que son bureau était dans le coin? Oh, inventé à l'art du serrurier. Putain, mais c'est tellement grand en fait. Ah, inventaire plein. Ok, là c'est fermé. Normalement, je peux pas récupérer ça non plus. Si, ça je peux. Elixir. Où est-ce qu'il est son bureau? Attends, mais ça, c'est les trucs avec les chambres. Ça peut pas être là, son bureau. Où est-ce qu'il est, le bureau? Chambre de Richet. Couloir menant aux chambres. Chambre d'Adams. Chambre de Bonaparte. C'est pas au premier étage, c'est en bas. Hein. Attends, est-ce que je peux descendre? Ouais. J'ai descendu là? Oui. Là, je pouvais pas aller. On va repasser par la chambre des portraits, la salle des portraits. Et normalement, peut-être que là, maintenant, j'ai... Ah, voilà. Alors, attends. Parvis, entrée du manoir, ça d'accord. Le grand hall. Le petit salon, on était avant. La salle à manger. La bibliothèque où on était. La galerie des portraits où nous sommes. La salle des trophées qui est donc cachée. L'escalier de service. Le bureau de Mortimer. J'ai pas repéré où il était en fait, c'est ça. J'aurais peut-être dû repérer où il était. Hein. Remarquez. Ok, on repasse par la bibliothèque. Ça d'accord.
Atrus, the Miller brothers. Mother expressly forbade me from reading it.
Ah, inventaire plein. Bon, ça d'accord. Par contre, les notes, non. Les notes, pas besoin. Pas besoin de notes. Regardez les talents débloquables. Par contre, je vais juste voir ça. Pour choper des bonus. Il y a des trucs que je sais pas du tout comment utiliser encore. Hein. Je crois que je regarde ça un peu plus. Mais d'abord, on va rester concentré.
I have no space left. I'll retrieve it later.
Là, il n'y a rien. Bon, lui, on l'a déjà parlé. Ok, ça, c'est l'extérieur. Il y a des papillons partout. Hein.
Discourse on the Method by Descartes. This book changed the way I looked at the world.
Okay, il doit être dans le coin ici, le bureau de Mortimer. Hein. Non, ça c'est là d'où on vient. Donc c'est déjà pas là. Je vais demander au serviteur là.
What can I do for you, sir? I am at your service day and night, sir.
Le manoir. Premier étage, extérieur, rez-de-chaussée.
Yes. Can you briefly describe the ground floor, please?
Very well, sir. On the ground floor, there are mainly living rooms. Sir finds himself at present in the Grand Hall. From the Grand Hall, Sir can access, on one side, the small salon, where the guests like to relax with a good book. From there, Sir can access the conference room, which is closed at present for preparations. That is where Lord Mortimer likes to gather all of his guests for talks. From the other side of the Grand Hall, Sir may access the dining room. That is where Sir's meals will be served. From the dining room, Sir may benefit from an exceptional view overlooking the island. It is also the best way to access the portrait gallery, where a large part of Lord Mortimer's works are exhibited. And in the gallery, Sir will also find access to the garden. But Sir may be reassured the building is accessible on both sides, so that it surrounds the garden in question. So, Sir should not find cause to worry. No one has ever gotten lost.
Except for my mother.
Has Sir another question?
Ouais, alors attends parce que... Salut H, comment ça va? Premier étage.
What's on the first floor?
The first floor is reserved for guests, sir. That is where Sir will find his private rooms. The main corridor leads around the building. 3 stairways will enable Sir to return to the ground floor. It is also from there that Sir will be able to reach the second floor.
Thank you very much.
Anything else, Sir?
Oui, bah du coup, deuxième étage. Hein.
Yes.
Bien, je te remercie.
What can I find on the second floor?
That floor is strictly reserved for Lord Mortimer, sir. In the west wing, on the second floor, are his private chambers. In the east wing are the rooms reserved for Lord Mortimer's personal guests. At the moment, these rooms are reserved for Sir Holm, sir. But only authorized guests may access that area. Does Sir have any more questions?
Bah non. Non, non, non. Ça serait au deuxième étage en fait. Ce serait au deuxième étage. Le rez-de-chaussée, on l'a fait. Hein. Rez-de-chaussée, on l'a fait. Alors, là, on est au premier. Automatiquement, il y a toutes les chambres de tout le monde. Mais on va peut-être pouvoir prendre les escaliers pour... Oh, bah yo.
What do you want, Louis?
Emily, what can you tell me about the coming conference?
Sir Gregory and Lord Mortimer organize this kind of high society meeting every so often in order to consider the world situation.
But to what purpose?
Well, by bringing together the most influential people from the dominant nations of the modern world, they allow the mighty to discuss matters with calm clarity. There are precedents of armistices being signed at the end of these talks, you know. Talking while holding a glass of brandy makes things easier. You'll see.
What do you think of our last guest?
Well, I never thought I would get the chance to meet that Hispanic Casanova in the flesh. His reputation is well known. The gentleman collects lovers, including, would you believe it, the Queen of Spain.
I doubt that Lord Mortimer invited him for his charm, if you want my opinion.
You're leaving me?
Unfortunately, I have things to do. Thank you again, madam.
Ouais, parce que vu que tu peux pas... File-moi ça, par contre. Ah, zut. Ok, bon, c'est pas grave. Les escaliers pour monter. On a quelque chose là.
Decorum guide.
Le guide de la bienséance. Parce que là, de toute façon, c'est toutes les chambres. Donc, est-ce que... Oui. On monte au deuxième.
So, what did my mother mean by going beyond the nightmare?
Trouver le cauchemar. Donc le tableau qui est derrière le bureau de Mortimer. Ok, c'est celui-là.
No, what have we got here? Well, it looks like a model of a lock. As if Mortimer is fond of complicating things sometimes. Well, I hope I never have to try and unlock it.
Attends, mais c'est les deux mêmes lettres Nourriture. Ah. Alors, date des tableaux. Veuillez noter que ces derniers faisant partie de la collection privée sont datés selon le calendrier franc-maçon. Ok. Comme vous le devinez donc, il faudra penser à retirer 4000 ans si vous voulez que le public ne s'étonne pas de la datation de ces œuvres. Quoi? Attends, je vous écris concernant donc les dates des tableaux que vous avez fait parvenir pour votre exposition temporaire. Il faudra enlever 4000 ans pour que le public ne s'étonne pas de la date de ces œuvres. Inutile de vous rappeler que l'année maçonnique ou à elle commence en mars, pas en janvier. Ok.
Let's take a closer look.
On va encore goûter des cochonneries?
Judging by the shape, I'd say they're Criollo cocoa beans. The chocolate of the Mayas, the rarest of the beans. Some even say they're an aphrodisiac. When a product is in fashion, people attribute all sorts of virtues to it, not to be given to animals. Dark chocolate beans. Very bitter. They're greatly prized in high society.
Bon, ok. Le tableau.
The nightmare painted by Fuseli in 1781. Ah, this must be what my mother was talking about. Now just need to find out what she meant by
Bah
go
oui,
beyond.
au-delà du tableau, donc un passage secret.
Hey, looks like it's mounted on rails on each side. It should lift up, I think. There must be a mechanism somewhere.
Reste à trouver le mécanisme. Trouver les mécanismes pour déplacer le tableau. J'ai pas envie de prendre de baies là, je les sens pas.
No mechanism here.
Attends, parce qu'il y a le... Il y a ça, il y a l'oiseau.
A mynah bird. Well, Waldo, is your master good?
À ne pas donner aux animaux, par contre. Je n'ai pas donné du chocolat. Attends 2 secondes. Est-ce que je dois prendre des fruits? Laisse-moi deviner. Et si je lui file des fruits? Normalement, il rentre dans l'inventaire.
Might come in handy.
Ouais, justement. Alors, maintenant, j'ai des fruits dans l'inventaire. Oui, oui, Waldo.
A mynah bird.
Donner des fruits.
Well, Waldo, is your master good?
Mais c'est dire que ça, le pauvre.
I don't really know what I was expecting.
Bah oui, j'avoue.
Sarah de Riche? Waldo, you know Sarah?
Ok.
What? Repeat that, Waldo. Sarah? What about Sarah? Good God, what's been happening here?
Est-ce qu'on peut avoir d'autres infos? Oh, donner du chocolat, non. Je risque de tuer l'oiseau comme ça, moi. Ça va peut-être pas le faire, hein. Y a rien d'autre, hein? Non, y a rien d'autre.
All right, that's enough of that. If I go on talking to a mynah bird, I'll end up going crazy.
Ouais, mais on sait qu'il y a quelque chose dans tous les cas, hein. Elle était bien ici, il s'est passé quelque chose.
I don't think this book can help me.
Mécanisme, tableau.
Okay, no mechanism behind this painting. Well, I'll have to keep looking.
Un chandelier qui bouge.
I don't think this book can help me.
C'est le même bouquin qu'avant, attends.
No. No mechanism here.
Ça aurait été cool avec la cage. Attends. Je vais quand même tenter. Hein.
A mynah bird.
Merde.
Oh, what have I done? It looks like I've killed him. Oh, shit. I better not hang around.
Je voulais essayer. Rip, l'oiseau. Merde. Il y a quelque chose par terre. Ah ben voilà. Ouh, des chiffres.
Aha, I found it. Oh, what on earth is this? A ring lock now? Great. That's all I needed.
Attends, comment ça fonctionne là? Trouver le code de la porte cachée. Est-ce qu'il y a des chiffres? Il n'y avait pas des chiffres là-dessus qui étaient à... L'autre feuille. Je sais pas du tout. Attends. Oh, attends. Où est-ce que je peux trouver des chiffres? Attends. Trouver le code de la porte. Le code de la porte.
No, what have we got here? Well, it looks like a model.
Est-ce que dans mes notes, j'ai pas quelque chose?
As if Mortimer's fond of complicating things sometimes. Well, I hope I never have to try and unlock it. This painting isn't finished. And it looks like Mortimer probably did it. Not bad, but you can't exactly say it's been done in the style of the period.
Le code de la porte. Qu'est-ce que j'ai? Qu'est-ce que je sais sur lui, par contre, sur Mortimer? On sait pas grand-chose. D'accord, ça déjà, c'est sûr. L'inventaire. On a quoi? Est-ce qu'on a des infos qui pourraient nous aider? Conversation, discours de méthode, l'art du serrurier. Mais le fait est, c'est comment... Je suis en train de regarder s'il n'y a pas quelque chose qui pourrait m'aider à trouver... à trouver quelque chose. Observez les rouleaux. Ah.
Looks like there's a marker on number 1 on the second ruler.
Trace sur le 1. Au niveau du deuxième rouleau.
Doesn't work, damn it. I really thought I was close. 1,190. Isn't the right date when you subtract 4,000? I must have missed a subtlety.
Attends, quand on retire 4000, j'ai dû rater quelque chose. Ah, donc il y avait bien le coup des chiffres. Ben oui, c'était bien relié à ça. Pensez à réduire la somme du bois de l'an dernier. Attends. Quand on retire 4000... Ben... On retire 4000... En 2 secondes, je calcule. Oui.
Open sesame.
Oh, c'est chouette, dis donc. Ok, il y a un chiffre pour sortir de nouveau. Oh. Yes.
Let's see what you've been hiding, Lord Murderer.
Fouillez le bureau. On va se gêner. Hein. Maintenant qu'on y est. Alors, je me permets de vous écrire afin que vous puissiez convaincre le président Washington de ne pas signer le Fugitive Slave Act en l'état. Nous devons absolument légiférer au niveau national et non permettre à chaque État de choisir sa politique concernant les esclaves. D'accord. Initialement prévu afin de régler un conflit entre la Pennsylvanie et la Virginie, nous risquons de légaliser la chasse aux Noirs. Des hommes peu scrupuleux deviennent chasseurs d'esclaves et incapables d'en trouver en fuite. Se mettent à capturer les premiers Noirs venus en le faisant... passer pour un fugitif recherché, pas faux. La situation risque vite de dégénérer. Merci d'avance, votre avis, John Adams. Passez le bonjour à ma fille Elisabeth. Ok.
It shows the forces present in Africa. This is unexpected activity in this sector. It looks like there are also many unknowns, even for Mortimer.
On aurait pu analyser la situation géopolitique. Milord, j'espère que mon pli saura parvenir jusqu'à vous. Mes heures sont comptées, mon imprimerie m'a été confisquée, je suis enfermée à la forteresse de Schlussensburg. Schlusselburg, ok. Si par chance vous pouviez intervenir en ma faveur, je vous en serais éternellement redevable. La tsarine Catherine ne devrait plus tarder à interdire toute loge de l'ordre doré sur son territoire. Notre horizon s'assombrit considérablement dans l'espoir que vous puissiez m'aider, votre ami Nikolai Novikov. D'accord. Inventaire plein, ça.
Weakness of the Human Psyche by Guillaume Trimore. He says, it is possible to drill an idea into someone by constant daily repetition until the mind gives in and goes on. There are hundreds of good ways to live life, but you only need one to convince the masses that it's the only one possible. The author isn't letting any ethical principles get in his way, is he?
Alors, le présent a été livré. Waouh, ok. Le présent a été livré. Timur Saïd Durrani, roi d'Afghanistan, du Benjaï, du Sindh, de Massad et du Cachemire, ne devrait plus conserver son titre encore longtemps. Son fils Saman prendra comme prévu sa succession. Nous pourrons alors reprendre les négociations. Hein.
This shows the forces present in America.
Ok, on avait une carte africaine, carte de l'Afrique, carte des Amériques. Oh, attends, mon ami, en remerciement des services rendus pour votre aide dans la lutte contre les Espagnols et la prise d'Oran, un bateau en partance pour Marseille en France vient d'être affrété. Sera caché à son bord quelques corps porteurs de la peste qui déciment notre pays actuellement. Faites très attention dans la manipulation de ces caisses, car si l'une d'elles venait à s'ouvrir inopinément, vous risqueriez d'étendre la maladie à toute la France. Waouh! Charmant! Que de manigance, dis donc, hein? C'est pas bon là? Non? Et ça c'est quoi? J'ai pu réunir mes amis afin de signer l'accord que vous m'aviez proposé. Cet accord portera le nom de Buttonwood. Si vous vous souvenez de l'endroit où nous nous sommes réunis quand vous avez rencontré la première fois, vous comprendrez pourquoi ce nom. Ok. pourtant on a fait le tour là. Oh, ah, mais la vache, mais tous les personnages n'empêchent là-dedans. Ah ah. Voyons si vous aurez le courage de venir me voir seul à seul.
This is my mother's writing. I've picked up her trail. What is she up to? Obviously, she wants to lure Mortimer somewhere, but where? The only clue she's left for Mortimer is this stone sword. It must be intentional. It looks like a decorative sword, like from a statue, for example. And judging by the state of it, I'm guessing it's been left outside for a long time.
Okay.
I have absolutely got to find out where it came from.
Bah, extérieur égale jardin, du coup... Ah, on a déjà fouillé tout le... Allez chercher votre mère. Allez chercher votre mère? Ok, attends. Monsieur, vos plans d'ingérence en Belgique se déroulent comme prévu. J'occupe, comme il se doit, l'armée prussienne. Votre convoi de canons, oui. À Valmy nous a assuré la victoire comme convenu. J'avertis le roi de Prusse des plans d'invasion de Custine. Et avec l'armée du Nord, je bouterai les Autrichiens hors de Belgique. Je me dois de rentrer sur Paris rapidement car je sens le sort de notre roi Louis sur le point de se régler de façon déshonorante. Oui. Et il m'est impossible de ne pas intervenir. Bon, c'est un peu trop tard. Hein. Si vous aviez quelques missions à me remettre, je vous invite à passer, comme à l'habitude, par notre ami Monsieur Pérou. Cordialement, Jean-François Dumouriez, général de l'armée du Nord.
A fine-looking map of the Orient, indeed.
Sachez alors, Mortimer, j'ai le regret de vous informer que la pression russe ne pourra bientôt plus être ignorée. La tsarine Catherine compte bel et bien soutenir le comte de Provence et le reconnaîtra comme régent du royaume de France. Une fois le roi Louis disparu de la scène politique, je suis désolée de vous annoncer de mauvaises nouvelles, mais attendez-vous à de sombres heures. Ok, Boer. Ça c'est bon. Ça aussi. Ça, c'est là d'où on vient. Ok, on a fait le tour.
It's locked.
Allez chercher votre mère. Il n'y a pas de coin... Attends. On a fait le tour, là.
Weakness of the Human Psyche by Guillaume Trimore. He says, it is possible to drill an idea into someone by constant daily repetition until the mind gives in. And goes on, there are hundreds of good ways to live life, but you only need one to convince the masses that it's the only one possible. It's locked. Look, a pack of tarot cards. Has he been reading the cards? Mortimer? That would surprise me. It is a typical draw on a line that answers a specific question. To the left, temperance, that announces a reward for one who patiently waits before taking any action. And in the middle, the chariot, which symbolizes triumph and business success. To the right, the Emperor evokes a future full of power and stability.
Il y a tellement de choses.
Some goat skulls, chicken legs. Now we all know what that's for. I'm a little surprised at Mortimer. I didn't seem as the type to be organizing little pagan parties, invoking occult powers, and dancing naked under the full moon. I'm more used to seeing cheap charms like this sold by charlatans in Pré Saint-Gervais. 3 rusty old nails. They're about 20 centimeters long.
Ok, toute première banque d'Amérique ne devrait pas accuser de retard. Il s'appellera sans doute la Union Bank. Quant à la construction de la Maison Blanche, elle doit toujours commencer en octobre. Je n'accepterai aucun retard. Le secrétaire d'État Thomas Jefferson. Ah.
A chest with a motif representing the alchemical symbol of fire.
Laisse-moi deviner, j'ai pas la clé. Incroyable ça. Clé à motif occulte. Ah yes. Oui.
A chest with a motif representing the alchemical symbol of fire.
J'ai la clé. Bah. Ah, déverrouiller le second verrou. Merde. Il me manque... Non, c'est une blague. Il me manque un... Oh là là. Ah, attends.
Am I seeing things, or is that an actual von Leeuwenhoek microscope? Incredible. Mortimer really is at the cutting edge of science. Even at the Order, it took us ages to get one of those. That must be for writing the homing pigeon messages.
Est-ce que c'est pour ce truc qui est derrière ou je vais voir. Ouais, c'est le mot qui était derrière. Ça c'est pour la serrure, d'accord.
These are feathers. Pigeon, probably. A skeleton. By the name of Gustav, if the plaque on the plinth is anything to go by. Mortimer's given a name to his anatomy skeleton. That's morbid. Oh, his right hand is missing. Strange. I don't recognize the alphabet. I wonder where the pictograms are from. It isn't Egyptian or Hebrew. There are 2 inscriptions on the sides as well as on the top. No way to know what's underneath. Absolutely no idea what it's for, but I find this cube fascinating. Looks like obsidian or onyx. It must weigh a ton.
J'ai pas plus de trucs. Hein. Ça, je l'ai vu déjà avant.
Preservation using formaldehyde. Just as disgusting as ever.
Est-ce que j'ai tout lu? Est-ce qu'il faut que je sorte pour...
That must be for writing the homing pigeon messages. An iron mask.
Ah, masque de fer.
I wonder who it's for.
Le masque de fer. Il n'y a pas d'autre clé. Hein. Mais...
A table of alchemical elements. So, Lord Mortimer also studies alchemy? It seems like he's interested in everything.
L'alchimie, il y avait des symboles là-bas. Est-ce que ça peut être... un peu plus ou pas? Non, je peux pas. Ok, on peut pas plus faire. Allez chercher votre mère. Oui. Bah alors là.
It's locked. Oh shit. How am I gonna get out of here now?
Attends.
This looks like the same mechanism as the one on the other side. Looks like the same as the one on the other side. Whoa. If the grid closes a bit more every time I enter a wrong date, I'd better not mess up again. It doesn't seem to be working.
Tu peux... Merci. Sauf que quand je me suis retournée, on est rentré dedans, il y avait un chiffre qui commençait par un 9. Non.
This looks like the same mechanism as the one on the other side.
Songez à la forme des cylindres, réfléchir au mécanisme entier. Ah bah attends. J'ai pas les compétences pour, fais voir. Est-ce que quelque chose pourrait m'aider? Il n'y a pas de chiffre quelque part? On avait trouvé que des cartes, des mots, des... Alors pour la mère, je pense qu'elle doit être à l'extérieur, d'où l'épée, mais par contre là c'était fermé, c'est bien dommage.
It's locked.
Je suis sûre d'avoir vu un 9 et un 4 quand on est rentré dans la pièce. Parce que le numéro c'est... Tout a roulé, c'était 9-4. Le fait est, c'est que... C'est quoi les deux derniers chiffres, quoi? Oh. J'allais dire, c'est quoi, ça? Il y a bien quelque chose qui peut... si je tape sur l'inversion des trucs, cours une fois. C'est quoi? J'avais noté quoi pour rentrer de nouveau? J'avais noté 1191. Ouais, 1191. Juste que je note. Hein. Je note. 1191. Ça, c'était pour rentrer. Avec la déduction du calcul. Sauf que là... Je suis sûre des 2 premiers chiffres de ce que j'ai vu. Elle est montée comment la grille? Salut Lita, comment ça va? Ça va? Madame qui a fini Elden Ring hier. 9, 4, 9, 9, 9. 9, 1. 9, 1.
This looks like the same mechanism as the one on the other side.
Non mais ça on est d'accord. Examinez la manette. Abaisser la manette. Putain, si je reste bloqué...
Looks like the same as the one on the other side.
Science. Pourquoi j'ai pas pris science, hein? Pourquoi j'ai pas pris subterfuge? Non mais subterfuge, il faudrait quand même que je le prenne. Hein. Ça, je me le notais là parce que subterfuge là, c'est carrément limite vitale là. Écoute, c'est quoi? On va... 6, 6. 6, 6, 6. 6, 6, 6. 6. Oh là là.
This looks like the same mechanism as the one on the other side.
J'ai 2 chiffres sur 4 où je suis sûre. Par contre, putain, le... Je suis pas sûre du reste. Parce que c'est passé super vite quand on est rentré dedans, quoi. On s'est retourné, ça a pris 1 seconde, les chiffres se sont étaient visibles.
Well, I better not dwell on it then.
Découvrez la provenance de l'épée laissée par votre mère. Bah, ça, c'est à l'extérieur, par contre. Hein. L'épée est usée. On est d'accord que c'est à l'extérieur. Je pense que c'est au niveau du jardin. Qu'est-ce que j'ai raté? J'ai raté la combinaison du... j'ai raté la deuxième clé. J'ai empoisonné... Ouais, alors j'ai empoisonné l'oiseau, sauf que... Bon. C'était pas volontaire. Encore heureux, hein. Super. Bon, j'ai 4 points. Par contre, qu'est-ce que j'ai noté? Subterfuge. Parce que là, franchement... Subterfuge, bah il est là. Parce que là, il me le faut. Hein. C'est bon? Ah, il me reste un point. Il me reste un point. Qu'est-ce que je peux encore valider, là? Sur un jeu d'énigmes. Ah ben voilà, étiquette. On va déjà finir un peu. Étiquette, c'était quoi? Comportement adéquat à chaque situation, formuler des flatteries, des insultes voilées. C'était pas vital non plus, ça. Hein, par contre, hein, clairement. J'estime que la science était importante. La science était importante. La psychologie. La vigilance, c'était quoi? Interrogatoire, non. Logique, agilité, science. Où sont les bouquins? Tout ce qui est linguistique. Où est-ce que je l'ai mis? Subterfuge. Où est-ce que c'est? T'es tranquille du coup, Lita? Alors, je suis en quoi là? Je suis en niveau 2 pour l'occultisme, manipulation, les sciences, la diversion, la politique, la conviction, la linguistique. Ok, ce qui fait que j'ai profité du soleil, il fait trop beau. Ah bah tu m'étonnes. Il fait pas mal lourd, hein. Chez moi, il a flotté hier soir. Je sais pas si chez vous c'est pareil. Alors, j'ai qu'un seul bouquin. Qu'est-ce que je peux prendre? Manuscrit à équiper. Ok. Étiquette, logique, science, étiquette, politique, subterfuge, diversion. Qu'est-ce que j'ai déjà, moi, là? J'ai conviction et occultisme. Est-ce que... On va casser celui-là. Bah, t'as bien raison de profiter du soleil, en tout cas.
This note is about a meeting with Lord Mortimer. There's no doubt about it. All right, I need to find out where the sword that came with it's from in order to find Mother.
Ouais, épée usée égale extérieur.
You're joking, I hope. Don't tell me you've done that.
Really? How do you expect me to guess?
Oh, for God's sake, just ask them.
Est-ce qu'on les espionne?
We must absolutely inform Sir Gregory. How long has he been trying to collect all the spears?
Oh, la
I must have
discrétion!
brought him the first one 20-odd years ago.
Do you know if he has managed to get the original?
Well, in any case, he's got all the ones we had at the Vatican. He made me replace them with copies. But I don't understand your reaction. I'm sure it is nothing serious.
I can see very well you do not
Non mais
understand.
sérieux, il le voit pas?
You have done nothing less than sign our death warrants, and still you don't understand.
Someone is listening.
What? Monsieur de Richet, why not join us rather than find yourself eavesdropping?
Mais j'écoutais que dalle.
I didn't want to interrupt you. I'm sorry.
Of course you didn't. So, my son, what can we do for you?
I didn't mean to spy on you, but you caught my attention. Have you brought spears as well, then?
What? Did Mortimer ask you to bring him holy spears too?
Yes, but I thought I was the only one. How many of them have you brought, then?
18 in all. Any relic even
c'est assez
remotely
chouette chez
to
vous,
do with them, in
d'accord.
fact.
18 spears? How many of them exist in all?
No one knows. Especially as there is only one authentic one, of course. That all adds to the mystery, don't you think?
Well, please leave us, monsieur. His Eminence and I wish to finish our discussion alone.
Ok, ça n'empêche que je dois sortir. Alors attends. Rez-de-chaussée. Rez-de-chaussée et salle à manger, jardin, je dirais. Est-ce que je suis où là? Je suis au premier étage? Parce que j'étais au deuxième. Donc du deuxième, il faut que je bascule.
I am sorry, sir, but the conference room is under preparation and is consequently inaccessible to guests.
Could you perhaps help me?
What can I do for you, sir?
Where did this sword come from?
From the garden, sir.
Ouais, jardin.
That sword belongs to one of the statues
Statue du
in
jardin,
the garden.
logique.
Thank you very much.
Don't mention it, sir.
D'un autre côté, il était usé, donc elle était dehors. Donc c'était jardin, d'office. Remontez la piste laissée par votre mère. Donc, alors attends. Où sommes-nous là? Je suis où là? Je suis au rez-de-chaussée. Donc, l'entrée du manoir, la salle à manger, la bibliothèque. Le hall. Le hall. Le hall. Ok, ça c'est... Ouais, je suis au premier étage. Je suis au premier étage du coup. D'accord. Attends. Premier étage. Faut que je redescende. Non mais attends. Premier étage.
Is everything all right, my young friend?
Yes, tout va bien.
Wonderful. Isn't that lovely? Well, see you later.
Ok, c'était court, hein. C'était court. C'est la bibliothèque. Oh, la bibliothèque. Non, il faut que je descende. Hein. Il faut que je descende au rez-de-chaussée. Attends 2 secondes. Je me perds dans ce lieu. Ah bah attends, ça a mangé. Mais est-ce que j'ai déjà été dans les jardins? Je ne suis pas sûre, moi, dis donc. Je ne pense pas que j'avais déjà été dans les jardins, par contre. Bon, de toute façon, on est en train de redescendre, là.
Lord Mortimer certainly has a taste for staging rooms.
C'est tout? Là, je suis dans le hall d'entrée, hein, on est d'accord. Eh oui. Parvis, oui. Grand hall de Zeus, le hall dans... Comment j'accède au jardin?
Lord Mortimer certainly has a taste for staging rooms.
What can I do for you, sir?
Heureusement qu'il est là, lui,
I
dis
am
donc.
at your service, day and night, sir.
Parle-moi. Demander pour l'épée. Oui, mais on sait que c'est dans le jardin. Question sur le manoir. L'extérieur.
What is outside on the island exactly?
Lord Mortimer has made a point of keeping the main part of the island
Les quais et
in
le
its
jardin sont
natural
accessibles aux
state, sir.
invités.
For security reasons, only the wharves and the gardens are accessible to guests. If Sir would like to walk along the wharves, he has only to follow the pathway used upon his arrival. If he would like to walk in the interior gardens of the manor, I would advise Sir to pass through the portrait gallery. May I help Sir in any other way?
Non, c'est bon. Je te laisse. Galerie des portraits. Faut que je passe par la galerie des portraits. Donc, faut que je remonte. Attends, putain, galerie des portraits. Galerie des portraits. Oui, deuxième étage. Attends. Oh putain. Deuxième étage. Ok, je suis au premier. Allez, cours, mon petit, cours. Galerie des portraits. Oh putain, je peux pas remonter. Attends, c'est pas possible. Pétard, c'est pas possible. C'est pas possible. Ok, on peut pas monter. On peut pas monter au deuxième. Je peux pas monter au deuxième. Je peux juste descendre. Ça, c'est l'entrée. C'est pas vrai, hein. Attends, et si je passe par là? Que je traverse le petit salon. Ok, ça c'est le petit salon. Oh merde, mais il est partout.
I am sorry, sir, but the conference room is under preparation and is consequently inaccessible to guests.
Mais c'est partout, c'est pas possible. Il était dans le couloir à 2 secondes. Incroyable ça. Ok, bon, alors attends. Dans ce cas, on va aller à l'opposé. Hein. On va traverser par là. On va voir. Allez. Ok. Salle à manger. On devrait arriver vers la salle des portraits. Non, bibliothèque, salle des portraits. On va y arriver. Hop là, allez. Salle des portraits. Et... Ok, salle des portraits. Donc du coup... le jardin, il m'a dit de passer par la salle des portraits. Bon, là, il n'y a pas de porte. L'autre n'avait rien à nous dire. Donc la salle des portraits est au premier étage et pas au deuxième.
There's the alchemical symbol of the earth on the lid.
Projeté. Si déjà. Hein. Inventaire. Plein. Eau de mélisse. Objet non ramassé. Attends. Ah non, mais tout ça pour ça? Ok, bon. Bon, écoute.
A fragment of amber.
Non, mais il est partout, cet homme-là. C'est incroyable. Bon, ça, c'est pour accéder au deuxième, mais j'ai des doutes. Je vais juste voir. Là, je peux accéder au jardin. Voilà. Retrouver la statue dont il manque l'épée, du coup.
The sword probably came from this garden, but what could it have been used for?
Cool. On avance, hein.
Well, Monsieur de Richet.
Oh non, lui.
What brings you here?
Je me balade. Je passais par
I just
hasard.
happened to be passing.
Of course you were. Say no more. I will take my leave. I certainly don't want to be mixed up in your plans.
Pétard, mais lui, hein. Bon, on leur a fait partir, c'est déjà pas mal. Du coup, alors attends, voilà.
Ariadne. In Greek mythology, she helped Theseus get through the labyrinth. Looks like there's a crack in the region of the heart. If I recall the Iliad, Ariadne is none other than the daughter of Minos and Pasiphae. She was in love with Theseus and helped him in his quest to kill the Minotaur in return for a promise of marriage if he defeated the monster. She gave him a reel of thread so that he could find his way back through the labyrinth, which was famous for being unsolvable. But once the beast was slain, the gallant was quick to abandon her on an island. Turns out heroes are not what they once were. I guide this sword that will kill the monster. Let's see.
Ah bah tiens.
And what's going to happen if I've got it wrong?
En tout cas, ça a l'air d'avoir débloqué quelque chose, non?
Ariadne.
C'est bon, non? Ça a débloqué quelque chose aussi.
Try something else.
Non, d'accord. Ok, c'est pas grave, c'est pas grave. Attends. Non.
Pasiphae, daughter of Perseus and sister of Circe. She married Minos and became the queen of Crete. I seem to recall that her fate was not something you'd want. She was punished for the sins of her husband. She had to mate with the sacred bull of Poseidon. 9 months later, she gave birth to Asterion, better known as the Minotaur. It's crazy to see to what extent women have always been mistreated. When they're not harpies, gorgons, and other witches, they become victims. She has no cracks. Deliverance alone suffices not to wash away my humiliation. All right, well, let's continue anyways.
Yes.
I wonder what this kiosk is doing in the middle of the garden. Too cramped to be able to do much. Well, there must be something going on there.
Ouais, ça.
What is that? It's like a sort of opening mechanism. Knowing Mortimer, I bet it's booby-trapped. There's a little hole at the fingers. I'm pretty sure if I get it wrong, I'll get pricked.
Ooh.
Damn you, Mortimer. Reminds me of traps I studied in Egyptian tombs. Knowing Mortimer, I bet it's booby-trapped. There's a little hole at the fingers. I'm pretty sure if I get it wrong, I'll get pricked. Damn you, Mortimer. Reminds me of traps I studied in Egyptian tombs.
Bon, je peux pas appuyer de toute façon. Analyser, étudier, non. Il n'y a pas d'autres... Le sol. Examiner la plaque.
It looks like this slab moves. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a passageway underneath it. It's up to the just to deliver judgment. Truth unlocks all possibilities.
Est-ce que je peux appuyer après ça? Je ne suis pas sûre. Non, d'accord. Elle, on l'a faite. Clé à motif occulte de la Terre. Ça, c'est cool.
Theseus.
Ah!
Son of Aegeus. He's the one who slayed the Minotaur. I seem to recall he took the decision to confront the Minotaur. He killed the beast, but if it weren't for Ariadne's help, he would have been trapped in that labyrinth forever. In short, yet another hero who wasn't the sharpest knife in the drawer. Okay, I'm probably being a bit harsh. I mean, we do owe him the foundations of Athens. In other words, the Republic. Render therefore unto Caesar what is Caesar's. Wrongly positioned, I am the blind hero. I wasn't expecting an inscription like that. Looks like a crack has been made on his torso.
Alors?
Theseus. Let's try something else instead.
Bah, c'était pas le bon non plus. Ok. Attends, mais qui c'est qui me reste là? Ah.
Minos.
Ah, lui aussi.
Son of Zeus and Europa. If I remember correctly, he was the king of Crete. Married to Pasiphae, he had many children, including the famous Ariadne, whom history remembers for her thread. Hey, there's a crack in that statue. His gesture sealed his fate. The crack is in the region of the heart.
Y a rien? Vraiment?
Minos.
Attends, mais qui c'est qui me reste là?
Asterion. It is rare to see him like this. In general, he's represented with the head of a bull, with the features of the Minotaur.
The famous son of Minos and Pasiphae. Asterion was a son of Pasiphae and Minos, or rather the result of a curse put on Minos.
Minos was punished for betraying Poseidon. Of course, as strangely it often happens, it wasn't he who was punished, it was his wife. She had to mate with a bull, no less. From that union, Asterion was born, who everyone knows as the famous Minotaur. Rejected by Minos, he was shut up in the labyrinth so he could never leave. And, as if that wasn't bad enough, he died by the hand of a hero desperate to restore his reputation. This statue has a crack in it.
Ah, et il y a déjà d'autres épées dedans.
Right. We'll soon see.
Je pense que c'est pas mal là. Non? Non?
Asterion. Let's go.
Sérieux? Mais... Ok, il se passe rien.
Asterion.
Oui, oui, Astérion, ouais, bah... Ok, alors attends, mais il reste qui, là? Qui c'est qui peut rester? Attends, hop, hop, hop. On voit encore une. L'ange là-bas. Et par contre, on les a tous faits, là, hein? Ouais, on les a tous faits. À part celui-là.
Icarus.
Qui n'a pas de fente, d'accord.
The son of Daedalus and Nocrate. Impossible to mistake him with those wings. After flying too close to the sun, they came unstuck and he fell to his death. Pity. Hey, there's no crack here. Well, let's keep going.
Alors, qu'est-ce qu'on avait d'autre encore là? On va voir une fois. Il reste les chiens maintenant. Attends. Merde, mais c'est pas vrai. Attends. Celui-là, on vient de le faire. Mais on les a tous faits et il s'est passé que nini. C'est quand même fou ça. Ouais, lui on l'avait fait aussi. On a fait l'autre, on a fait lui. Est-ce qu'il y a une partie derrière? Fais voir une fois. Il y a peut-être quelque chose derrière. Lui c'est fait. Il y en a peut-être une autre. Ou pas? Ah, ah ah. Lui on l'a pas fait.
Daedalus. He's the architect of the labyrinth, and if I'm not mistaken, he's also the father of Icarus. Hey, there's a crack in this statue too.
Non mais c'est une blague.
Daedalus. If I remember rightly, he's the one who built the labyrinth for Minos.
Que c'est Minos. En fait, j'ai oublié un truc important.
Minos.
C'est la pièce centrale, hein, avec la main.
The crack is in the region of the heart.
C'est ça, voilà. Parce que l'autre statue a dit que c'est lui qui était mort à coups d'épée dans le cœur. Ce qui normalement... En fait, j'ai oublié le mécanisme numéro 2, quoi. J'ai oublié ça. Ou je valide avec ça au final.
Knowing Mortimer, I bet it's booby-trapped.
Oui, non, mais on s'en fout que c'est piégé, on verra.
There's a little hole at the fingers. I'm pretty sure if I get it wrong,
Tu veux bien appuyer, s'il te plaît?
Damn you, Mortimer. Reminds me of traps I studied in Egyptian tombs.
Oui, appuie.
Knowing Mortimer, I bet it's booby-trapped.
Mais on s'en fout que c'est piégé, appuie.
There's a little hole at the fingers. I'm pretty sure if I get it wrong, I'll get pricked. Damn you, Mortimer. Reminds me of traps I studied in Egyptian tombs.
Voilà. J'ai oublié ça. En fait, depuis le début, j'ai oublié d'appuyer sur le truc, quoi. C'est con, hein, franchement. Oh la vache, il y a du sang partout, hein. J'avais complètement oublié cette partie-là, quoi.
Ah! Whoa. Again?
You can't be serious, man. You know that that's not to happen.
You must leave me alone now. I have agreed to everything. Even to...
Agreed? I wasn't aware you had a choice.
What's going on here?
What now? What else must I do to win back my freedom?
Obey me. Now get out!
What was that? That's the third time in 3 days. Let's see if you're in there, Mother.
Mm-hmm. Ok. Fouiller la crypte.
Amber. Bandages? Someone's been patching themselves up. Looks like my mother took advantage of being in hiding to change her bandages, huh? This is silk. She must have used her own clothes. There are patches where the blood isn't totally clotted. That's a good sign, right? She changed them recently, which proves she's still looking after herself and still believes in her chances. Well, I'd love to tell her to keep hanging in there. A Byzant from the Byzantine Empire. A coin often used during the St. Louis era.
Oh, le serviteur! Ah bah lol.
Damn it, Mother. Now what's happened?
Don't move!
Wait, I'm not armed.
Attends, c'est ta mère, non?
Who are you?
Good God, Mother!
Bah oui.
What have you...
Tell me who you are.
Non mais sérieux? Maman! Ok, et du coup on a 4 points. Du coup on va en mettre 2 pour la science. On avait déjà le niveau 1. Ouais, on a déjà le niveau 1. Yes! Épisode numéro 2 fini! Youhou!
I gotta find myself, gonna find it now. I gotta be a man, I gotta find him now. I gotta be a man, I gotta be a man. They wanna take me down, wanna see me grow. I gotta be a man, I gotta find him now. I gotta be a man, I gotta be the man. I gotta find myself, gotta find it now. I gotta be a man, I gotta find him now. I gotta be a man, I gotta be the man. When I come to town for the last time, pull up in a fast car for the first time. I'm gonna say goodbye, you didn't see me cry. I got a million on my soul, you're bidding on me on my own. They put a bounty on my soul. I got a million on my soul, you're bidding on me on my own. They put a bounty on my soul. Won't you leave me alone? Or leave me alone? I gotta be a man, I gotta be a man. Won't you leave me alone? Or leave me alone? I gotta be a man, I gotta be a man. Oh, oh, gotta find it now. I gotta be a man, I gotta find him now. I gotta be a man, I gotta be a man. They wanna take me down, wanna see me grow. I gotta be a man, I gotta find him now. I gotta be a man, I gotta be the man. I gotta find myself, gotta find it now. I gotta be a man, I gotta find him now. I gotta be a man, I gotta be the man. When I come to town for the last time, pull up in a fast car for the first time. I'm gonna say goodbye, you didn't see me cry. I got a million on my soul, you're bidding on me on my own. They put a bounty on my soul. I got a million on my soul, you're bidding on me on my own. They put a bounty on my soul. Won't you leave me alone? be a man. I gotta find him now. I gotta be a man. I gotta be the man.
Now this might be a mistake that I'm calling you this late, but these dreams I have of you ain't real enough.
Started bringing up the past, how the things you love don't last, even though this isn't fair for both of us.
Ooh, maybe I'm just a fool, I still belong with you. Anywhere you are. Ooh, these minefields that I walk through. Ooh, what I risk to be close to you. Ooh, these minefields keeping me from you. Ooh, what I risk to be close to you. Close to you. I didn't notice what I lost until all the lights were off, and not knowing what you're up to tortured me.
Now this might be